Is there anything in the New Testament that Jesus condemns more frequently or more thoroughly than hypocrisy? To say and believe one thing, but then to act in a contrary way. That essentially is hypocrisy. To say one thing and then to do another. And Jesus complains about the Pharisees, saying that they are like whitened sepulchres, like whitewashed tombs. At the time, Jews would very often, just before Pentecost, whitewash the outside of their tombs so that they would be more easily visible, and you'd have less chance, therefore, of actually rubbing against them as you pass by or touching them, which would make you ritually unclean for 7 full days. So they're whitewashed, and as you saw the sun shining on them, they were brilliantly white, and you'd have hundreds of tombs all together on the sides of hills, and they'd be incredibly, incredibly gloriously brilliant. But inside, full of decay and bones. Jesus says the Pharisees are like them. They appear to be brilliant on the outside and clean and virtuous, but inside they're full of corruption. And he goes even further. He says that they will do even worse things than their ancestors who killed the prophets. He actually predicts that they will, in fact, take his own life, and in the most cruel and utterly evil ways possible. So Jesus is condemning them for their hypocrisy. They say they would never hurt a fly and never do what their ancestors had done to the prophets, and yet they will do exactly the same to Jesus, and dare I say it, even worse. So hypocrisy. It's a danger for all of us. Any of us can fall into hypocrisy. Probably in our lives, we actually have at some point or the other. What's to be done about it? I think the simplest thing is vigilance. To be aware that we can slip into hypocrisy, and therefore to be vigilant that that doesn't happen. One great aid in that is an examination of conscience each night. Before you go to bed, think of 3 ways in which you've done something great, that you've done something good, that you've done quality things for the Lord, for the neighbor, even for yourself. And then think about the ways in which you've sinned or fallen short of the mark or haven't been able to do exactly what you wanted for God's glory and your neighbor's well-being. And as you do that, you can take stock of your life. And that examination of conscience followed by an act of contrition can really help us to be grounded and to make sure that we allow ourselves to be absolutely open to God, naked before his eyes, knowing that he will not condemn us if we turn to him in sorrow for our sins, and if we are able to make sure that we free ourselves from hypocrisy by really being vigilant and being careful about how we live our lives. Jesus does condemn hypocrisy, but the good news is if we are prayerful, if we're vigilant, if we examine our lives, then I think quite often we can steer clear of it. And one day, we perhaps will be able to be glorified by God, brought to heaven, where we will be beautiful and brilliant inside and out. May God bless you.